In this video, I'm going to show how to relieve quadratus lumborum pain in 30 seconds. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over really easy exercises that can quickly fix pain and tightness in the quadratus lumborum, commonly known as the QL muscle. If you're unfamiliar with it, it is a muscle that starts at the top of the pelvis and runs towards the side of the lower back into the bottom of the ribs. And when this muscle becomes strained and inflamed, it can cause a lot of issues, including deep one-sided lower back pain that travels into the pelvis towards the hip. What usually causes this is a blend of weakness and tightness that builds in the muscle over time. To fix this, I broke the video up into two separate parts. In the first part, we're going to go over stretching exercises that can give relief within 30 seconds, while in the second part, we're going to focus on getting long-lasting relief with some really good strengthening exercises. Each one of these exercises works differently. To get the best results, go through them all and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. So this is the exercise I would try first because it's by far the easiest one to do. It's called the twist and lean. Let's break this one down. We're going to start seated with very good upright posture. Just have your back as straight as possible. Take your arms, cross them in front of you just like this, kind of like a genie position. Now, I always like to target the most painful or tight side first. So let's say I have a lot of right-sided lower back pain. What you're going to do first is slowly twist or rotate away from the side of pain. So I'm rotating towards my left. What you want to do is build into this to the point where you feel a really good stretch form across your lower back that works towards your belt line. You're going to hold this and now deepen this stretch by tilting or leaning away at the same time. So we're going to twist and then lean. When you lean though, you're going to feel that stretch form right below the ribs that works towards the hips. That's targeting that quadratus lumborum or QL muscle. So we're going to hold this comfortably for 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 5 to 10 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If there's still some tightness left, just keep repeating this over and over again until everything loosens up or you're not getting any more improvement. And for good measure, I would do this on the other side for a couple repetitions just to help keep everything nice and loose. So if you would like to take this one to the next level and get a much deeper stretch, this is what we can do. So this one is called the Ballerina, and the big difference is we're going to do this one standing. And if it is the first time doing it, I would do this next to a wall, or at least have something that you can grab onto for support until you get the hang of this exercise. So let's break this one down. Whatever side that you're having the most amount of lower back pain or tightness, again, let's say it's our right side, you're going to take that side's leg and foot and just sweep it over towards the other side just like this. And sweep that leg over to the point where you feel a really good stretch forming on the outside of your hip. You're going to hold this and now take the hand on the other side, the non-painful side, and place it right over your hip. Take the hand on the painful side and put it overhead just like this. So now you know why we call it the Ballerina. Pretty easy from here. You're just going to slowly press your hips towards that painful side while your shoulders and upper back lean away from it. So we're going to tilt away from the pain and then press our hips towards it. At this point, you should feel a really deep stretch forming pretty much at the bottom of the ribs into the lower back towards your hip. Once you feel that, hold this for 20 to 30 seconds. You're going to release it and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. And then from there, just switch sides and repeat to keep everything in balance. So here's a really good exercise that we can do on a floor, but if your mattress is firm enough, you might be able to do this one in bed. We're going to start on all fours like this. My hands are roughly shoulder width apart, knees hip width apart. What you're going to do first is slowly walk your hands forward just until you feel a really light stretch form in your back. Once you do, take your fingers and grip into the bed or the floor to the point where they're not going to slip. They're going to be like suction cups stuck to the floor. Let's tuck our chin towards our chest and now rock our whole body backward, taking our butt towards our heels. The more that you rock backward, the more that you're going to feel a great stretch form in your back, but really focus on feeling it into the lower back. Once you do, hold this comfortably for 20 to 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Let out as much tension as you can. When you need to relax, rock forward like this, take a breather, but try to repeat this about 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just just a little bit more. So if you would like to take this one to the next level and focus a little bit more on the Quadratus Lumborum muscle, you can do two separate movements. The first movement is really easy to do. So whatever side that you're having the most amount of lower back pain, let's say it's our left side, what you want to do is just tilt your upper body towards the other side. So I'm tilting a little bit towards my right, and then I'm going to rock backward. You're going to notice it opens up that painful side a little bit more. So try to build into that for 3 to 5 repetitions, holding for 20 to 30 seconds. Let me demonstrate it on the other side too so you can see it a little bit better. But I would just try as many different movements and positions with this one as possible until you find the one that just offers the most relief. So the other one that you can do is very similar. Let's say that we have a lot of left-sided pain. You're going to take the hand on the side of pain and just reach over towards the other side as much as you can. With this one, I like to really reach over just to the point where I feel a good stretch in my lower back. Once I do, I hold this position and now rock backward. You're going to notice that it just hits the muscles a little bit differently. So give that one a try. And if you notice any of these positions or movements just offer a little more relief, at that point, I would keep building into it over and over again until everything is nice and loose or you're not getting any more improvement. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. So if you're looking for something a little bit more advanced that can offer a really deep stretch, give this one a try. It's called the 90-90. We're going to start on a floor with the painful side towards the back. So I'm going to demonstrate what to do if you have a lot of left-sided lower back pain. Our front leg is going to go straight in front of us, knee bent at 90 degrees. Our back leg is going to go straight off to the side, knee also bent at 90 degrees. Take the arm and hand on the other side and use that as support to try to keep your back as straight as possible during this exercise. The first thing that we're going to do is take this back hip and press it straight down towards the floor to the point where we feel a really good activation of the muscles around the hip that work into the groin. You're going to hold that during this exercise. Next, we're going to keep our back as straight as possible, and we're going to lean forward, lowering our chest towards the floor. The more that you lean forward, the more that you're going to feel a really good stretch form in your lower back that works towards this hip. Let's hold this comfortably for 20 to 30 seconds, come back up, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. To take this one to the next level and focus a little bit more on that QL or Quadratus Lumborum muscle, this is what we can do. Instead of leaning straight forward, take the hand on the side of pain and reach towards the other side as much as you can, focusing on feeling a really good stretch in the lower back. Once you feel that, lower your hand towards the floor and drop your chest towards the floor. So we're going to reach and then lean forward like this is a nice fluid movement. This time around, you should feel a deeper stretch form on the bottom of the ribs that works towards the lower back, towards the hip. Hold this for 20 to 30 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. But go through both of those movements. You may find that one just helps you out a little bit more. And at that point, just keep building into it over and over again until everything is nice and loose. And for good measure, I would switch legs, switch sides, and repeat on that other side to help keep everything in balance. So this exercise is going to focus a little bit more on strengthening for long-lasting relief. It's called the side lying hip raiser. We're going to start lying on our side with the painful side towards the bottom. So I'm going to demonstrate what to do if you have a lot of left-sided lower back pain. Let's have our body in a nice straight line, and this bottom knee is going to be bent at 90 degrees while our top knee is straight. We're just going to have our legs in line with each other. You're going to support your upper body weight on your forearm and elbow just like this. My elbow is bent roughly at 90 degrees. From here, we're going to lightly brace our core muscles. It's kind of like when somebody pokes you in your stomach, how you tense up, drawing your belly button towards your spine. Just hold that lightly. It will help protect the back during this exercise. From here, I'm going to take the hand on the top side, place it right over my hip. Now, engaging through your hip and your lower back, you want to drive your hips upward towards the ceiling as much as you can. The more that you press up, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation in your lower back, targeting the QL muscle. Hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, relax, take a breather, and then repeat this 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, just build into it a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. But if you want to take this one to the next level and make it more challenging, what you can do is straighten both knees like this, so it essentially becomes a side plank. So straighten your body, and your knees, and then press your hips up like this. You're going to feel a deep activation in your lower back and your hips, so give that one a try. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. So here's another really good strengthening exercise that will target the quadratus lumborum muscle like none other. This one is called the hip hiker, and all you're going to need is a stair or a step. But for demonstrative purposes, I'm going to use a yoga block. So whatever side that you're having the most amount of pain or tightness, let's say it's your right side, you're going to take the other side's foot and step up on that stair while the other foot goes off to the side just like this. Now it's really important during this exercise that we focus on moving through our hips and our lower back as much as we can. We don't want to lean away like this. Instead, let's take that painful side's hip and drive it straight upward towards the ceiling as much as we can. The more that you drive this hip upward, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of the muscles in the hip that works into the lower back towards the bottom of the ribs. Really focus on feeling it into your lower back. Once you do, hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're going to slowly relax by lowering your foot towards the floor. Try to lower that foot towards the floor as much as you can, but don't let it touch. Just let it hover, because you're going to now feel a really good stretch forming on the other side. Why I like this exercise so much is because it stretches one side while it strengthens the other. Hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then you're just going to drive that hip straight up towards the ceiling again. Just do this as a nice fluid movement of going up and down for about 5 to 10 repetitions in both directions. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always switch legs and repeat on the other to help keep everything in balance. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.